He's so free. Look at how broad his shoulders are. I could climb him like a tree. Hello, and welcome to Prelude, Love's Lost Requiem. This is a Yandere dating sim in which your handsome childhood friend Ravi visits you every single day after you've been confined to your apartment due to a mysterious illness. He takes really good care of you, but you do miss your friends and you're aching to get back to your normal life. Maybe you can ask Ravi when he thinks you're gonna get better soon. It's not like Ravi is lying to you and keeping you trapped here. Right? Let's get started. Oh, I'm so excited. Once upon a time, there were two souls, destined for one another, yet fate's cruelty had different plans. One soul, as tender and radiant as the sun's first light on a summer morning, always able to bring a smile to the faces around her. The other, stumbling blindly through a chaos of boiling emotions. Desperately they tried to escape fate, to deny her the satisfaction of witnessing their tragedy. At last their hearts were meant to be together, but they were nothing more than puppets, dancing on the strings of this dark world, forever condemned to enact their creator's sadistic tale while the world laughed at them. Again and again and again. This is their story. One warm summer afternoon, little Luna carefully pushed the glass door of her family home open and stepped into the cozy garden. The gentle, almost motherly embrace of the slowly setting sun welcomed her. With her goal in sight, she strode barefoot, her feet as pale as porcelain, across the prickly dried grass towards the enormous cherry tree at the center, its majestic shadow falling over the fearless child. Like a little monkey, she climbed the swing's rope up to the broad, sturdy branch it was tied to. Carefully, she inched closer to the trunk and reached for the binoculars dangling around her neck. With nervous determination, she pressed her sky-blue eyes to its lenses, focusing entirely on the garden of the neighboring house. Behind the reflection of the old pane windows, she tried to make out the shapes of unknown people. Her new neighbors. Previously, an elderly couple had lived there, unable to have children. The old woman cared for the garden as if it were her own flesh and blood. After she succumbed to cancer, her beloved husband did his best to tend to her most precious possession, but loneliness weighed heavily on his heart, and he followed her, only a few months later. By now, the once tidy garden was strewn with branches. Tall blades of grass stretched towards the reverent sun, and the flower beds were overrun with weeds. Little Luna fondly remembered the times the old woman had plucked strawberries from the beds just for her, how the fresh sweetness had made her mouth water, had awakened her spirit. As the glass doors to the abandoned garden opened, the girl flinched, causing her to almost lose balance. Quickly, she steadied herself, curiosity outweighing the fright threatening to take hold. Through the slightly scratched lens, she caught a glimpse of honey blonde hair. It shimmered like gold under the sunlight. The binocular shifted downward to examine the owner of the hair more closely. It was a boy, likely only a few years older than her. He closed his eyes and tilted his head towards the sky as if welcoming the all-consuming warmth. Skin so flawless not even a pore could be seen, ever so slightly kissed by the sun. Long lashes, voluminous, perfect hair. He almost looked like one of the old porcelain dolls her former neighbor kept in glass cabinets. He opened his eyes and met her gaze. His eyes sparkled golden like the amber bracelet bound to her wrist. He had seen her. He had found her hiding among the cherry tree leaves. She needed to climb down and retreat to the house, and yet her eyes could not be drawn away from the lenses. Spellbound, her gaze lingered on the boy. There was something so familiar about him, and his gaze did not leave her either, as if he wanted to tell her something. Also, can I just say the music is gorgeous? Because the Dev and I are both fans of Yuki Kajira. Both of us enjoy a lot of like older, early 2000s and 90s sci-fi. So I always really like recognizing little hints of like similar influences and stuff. But so far, I am loving the music a lot. It's very, very pretty. Something little Luna was not yet able to understand. My upper body shot upright. Oh, she's so cute. I can hear my heart pounding loudly in my chest as I gasp for air. Like a painful tremor threatening to suffocate me, it crept steadily up my throat. With each tentative breath, I tried to focus on the here and now. My bedroom. The soft bed I was lying in. My eyes adjusted to the gentle morning sunlight streaming through the two windows on my left, dancing across the room, softly brushing over sickly pale skin. Slowly my heart regained its steady rhythm, allowing me to sink back into the soft pillows. I haven't had a dream in so long. And why of all things did I dream about our first meeting? I knew it was pointless to dwell on it further. After all, I had little control over what crawled into my mind at night. Once I surrendered control to my surroundings, with a resigned sigh, I pulled the blanket closer and turned onto my side, facing the windows and the bright blue sky on the horizon. Occasionally, clouds drifted across my view, white and delicate as if lifted from a painting. One might think the sight was so beautiful, breathtaking even, that it would make anyone eager to go out and meet friends. But for me, it was the most painful view, a cruel reminder of my own powerlessness. Day after day, it mockingly displayed the privilege that was denied to me. And like a knife, that painful feeling sank deeper into my already weakened body. I want to go out for ice cream right now so badly. To meet the others and chat about simple trivial things. No, it's pointless to fall into this unnecessary self-pity. I should just go back to sleep. That's the one thing I can do best. I turned around, shunning the summer morning sun, and faced the opposite wall, pressing my eyelids tightly together. I tried to shift my consciousness to surrender myself, but the harder I tried, the more I furrowed my brow in concentration, the more awake I became, as if something deep inside resisted this desperate wish of mine. Defeated, I flopped onto my back and stretched my arms out towards the white ceiling above. This is pointless. I watched as my hand reached towards it, the endless white as if trying to grasp the clouds beyond the ceiling, before collapsing like a sack of potatoes onto the mattress, aware of its own helplessness. Resigned to my fate, I closed my eyes again, in the bitter hope that this act had drained enough energy for me to rest just a little longer. The high-pitched notification sound on my phone dragged me back to consciousness. I'd almost made it. I'd almost fallen asleep, and yet I just want to cry. Twisting my body like a wet towel, I reached for the nightstand near the windows. With every failed attempt, the books crept closer to the edge of my back towards a sharp spasm. Finally, once I felt the object of my desire between my fingers, and freed myself from that unnecessarily painful position, the pressure in my lungs eased. As if on autopilot, my fingers unlocked the screen and navigated to iMessage. Aw, Ravi's on our favorites. That's so cute. Mum, good morning, honey. I hope you slept well. I'm going to the bookstore today. Can I get you a book that Ravi can bring by later? Good morning. Sure. Carrier recently bought the last volume of Karamu Trilogy. She said the series is really good. Could you bring me the first volume? Okay, what's it called? Karamu. I don't know any more than that. Oh, how are you holding up? Are you eating enough? Yes, don't worry. Ravi makes sure I don't starve. That's good. I'm just a bit bored since I'm not allowed to leave the apartment. Oh, sweetheart, I really hope this stupid illness passes quickly so I can hug you tight again. I miss you. Hopefully. I miss you too. I had to get back to work now. But please text me if anything happens. I love you, my little sunshine. I love you too, Mum. Carrier. Dude, I swear I'm gonna crash out. This guy seriously says the deadline isn't for another week. Easy. Easy? Easy. They got the project months ago and he hasn't even started. Okay, I need to calm down. This is not good for my blood pressure. First of all, good morning? Why are you up so late? And who are we talking about? Henning? Who else? That dude is driving me crazy. I can already feel my hair turning grey and I'm only 23. Good morning. Cute. My greying hair is cute. No, but you and Henning. Ugh, take that back right this instant. No. Whatever. Friendship over. I know you love me. Ew. Aren't you supposed to be at uni? Technically, yes. And practically not. I didn't feel like it. But don't worry. It's just literature analysis with German. I will still attend the lecture on educational and developmental psychology. If I get any copies, I'll give them to Ravi. It's not as if you're studying to become a teacher, but it's still important for you. I'll review the notes tonight when I have my piece. My parents are attending a distant cousin's wedding. Why don't you just move out? Not until my mom successfully marries me off to some guy from the mosque. Oh, and what does your dad say? He doesn't have much say in that. It's a miracle he even convinced her to let me study. Anyway, I won't be married off anytime soon. I'm gonna go nap for a bit now. Good night. Good night. Henning. Hey, is it so bad if I start my uni project only a week before it's due? Last time I started 2 days before the deadline, got it all done. Morning. Are you talking about Kara? She already told me about it. Yeah. What'd she say? That she's worried about you? She's worried? Did she actually say that? Well, no. Not exactly. Oh, I see. You know, Kara. What's your project about? Promoting social skills in teenagers from underprivileged areas. Ah, is that your practical module for education studies? Yeah, and I have the perfect sample with the kids at my job at the youth center. They're super engaged, so the project is really more fun than really hard work. The final report will probably kick my ass though. But as long as working with the kids is fun, that's the main thing. Yeah, true. And what exactly do you do at the youth center? Well, I only made the project plan today. Henning, it's not even 9 AM yet. Don't tell me you stayed up all night. Okay, I won't say I stayed up all night. Henning. Anyway, I think we should go to bed now that we talked about it. Yeah, you better. Otherwise you just mess up your sleep schedule. What sleep schedule? I mean, more than it's already messed up. Okay, I'm going to sleep. The sooner the better. Pia will be back from school at 1 PM anyway. No after school care today. Then off you go. Good night. You too. Or rather, good morning. The grip of my fingers around the phone loosened and it fell onto my stomach. I should get up. At least I shouldn't spend the whole day in bed. I should do something for uni. The question is if I actually feel like it. I forced my upper body into a semi-upright position and swung my legs towards the edge of the bed. But the moment I finally decided to leave the tender warmth of my bed behind, I heard the notification sound on my phone. We'll check the phone this time. Check phone. Giving into the curiosity, I turned back and reached for the device. The display flickered on, revealing the preview of an unread message from a number I didn't recognize. Frowning, I wonder if I had seen the number before. Did I know this person simply forgot to save their details? After all, it's not unusual to meet countless people in the numerous lectures and courses university has to offer. And psychology isn't exactly an unpopular major. Check message. What's the worst that could happen? Who are you? Good morning, Looney. Do I know you? Hope you had good dreams. Good morning. This might sound weird, but how do you know me? It's me, Hideki Yukimura. Are you so sleepy that you don't recognize me? Sorry, but could it be that you're mistaking me for someone else? I don't know anybody by the name Hideaki. Or do you know me from uni by any chance? Friends with Henning and Kara, right? Yes, I am. We are the same psychology classes. I study social education with Henning. Sorry, he never mentioned you and I don't recall seeing you at any of the lectures. At least I don't recognize you from your profile picture. And how'd you get my phone number? Yeah. How did you get my phone number? And what's with the over-familiar messaging? I asked Henning. Why? Why didn't you ask me in person? You've been away from uni for a while. I was wondering if you were okay. Oh, I see. It might seem like I was stalking you, right? I'm really sorry if I made you feel uneasy. It's not easy for me to make friends in Germany. Are you an international student? Yeah, I've been here for 3 years. Oh, are you originally from Japan? Yes, how'd you guess? Your name makes it pretty obvious. True. Your German is really good for only being here for 3 years. Thank you, I had a very good teacher. Back to the topic. Yes? Why did you ask Henning for my number? Because you're cool, and I want to know if you're okay. Surprised? You could have asked Henning if I was okay. Yeah. Oh, but if you want... Yes? We could get to know each other. Only if you want. Ask me anything you want. I'll answer. Alright? About yourself. Tell me something about yourself. I'm from Japan. I'm 24 years old. I'm a virgin. You did not have to tell me that. Oh, my zodiac sign. Not me. You mean you're a Virgo? You know, that's Virgo, not virgin. Oh, do you live in Hildesheim? Yeah, in a shared flat with other international students. They're nice, just noisy, always throwing parties. My flat's near that German word I can't pronounce. No. I like to go there for walks when I come home from work. You work? Yeah, the student credit I get doesn't cover all my expenses. And I don't like borrowing money or being financially dependent on others. It gives me a weird feeling. I can understand that. And where do you work? On the weekdays at the Brutto, a few streets away from the... that word. And weekends at the animal shelter. Ah, you mean the one in Andrea's Passage? I used to shop there a lot too. Yeah, that one. I never seen you there. Really, but I saw you. Weird. Speaking of, you haven't been shopping in a while. How do you know? Yeah. May I ask why you've been so absent lately? Well, the jangle of a key turning in the lock caused my entire body to jolt. With trembling legs, I stumbled from my white-coated bedroom door into the open living area of my apartment. Deep down, I knew it could only be one person stepping through that door. And yet my heart was pounding so loudly that it even drowned out the sound of my footsteps. And there he was, just as expected. Ravi. Hi, handsome, but also hello, Yandere man. Dressed in his usual white coat and turtleneck. My childhood friend was in the process of taking off his shoes at the entrance. His amber eyes were focused downwards on his black leather shoes. He slipped out of them with practiced ease, placing them neatly side by side. Clutched in his arm, he carried a nearly transparent plastic bag. It was filled with an assortment of fresh groceries, including a leek, its head visibly reaching out the top of the bag. What are you doing here? Why are you so surprised? I'm here every day, am I not? I also make your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. He held up the plastic bag with a furrowed brow, as if it was the answer to my question. I know, but you really don't have to do this. Should I let you start? I can cook for myself. You don't need to go out of your way for me. His mouth opened slightly. He seemed almost hurt by my words, as if I pronounced the most foul of insults. I mean, I am glad to see you, but I just don't want to keep causing you all this trouble. Defeated, he shook his head, and I could swear that a previously unnoticed tension slid off his shoulders. I do this out of my free will, Luna, and I think it would be more frustrating to know that you are wasting good food. What? I wanted to protest, but I froze when I got interrupted by a faint snort. Oh, he's so pretty! Look at how broad his shoulders are. I could climb him like a tree. My childhood friend stepped into the open living area and leisurely made his way to the kitchen, setting the plastic bag down on the white countertop. He carefully took each item out of the bag. The leek, bananas, flour. I was shocked that the seemingly infinite spacious bag didn't break from the sheer amount of contents in it. I stepped closer. Ravi didn't seem to notice me, still lost in arranging the groceries side by side on the counter. As his broad back was facing me, I had to stand on my tiptoes to see his flawless face over his shoulder. He is very pretty. With his long lashes, blonde hair and perfect complexion, he could have easily passed for a member of a J-pop band.
Do I have something on my face?
No? Embarrassed, I put my heel back down on the cold floor and shuffled over to the dining table, where I sat down on one of the chairs. I watched as he took out a frying pan, apron, cutting board from the kitchen cabinets without hesitation. After he put on the pink apron embroidered with hearts and bunnies, he turned on the stove and placed the pan on the burner, which glowed a gentle red. This is how my mornings had been unfolding for quite some time. When I woke up, Ravi would come by, make me breakfast, prepare my lunch, and leave for university. Some days he even came by in the afternoon or evening, depending on his classes. I had long stopped counting the days that I had spent tethered to my apartment. I was grateful that Ravi made time for me despite his full schedule, and isn't that suspicious? That Ravi is the only one allowed in the apartment seemingly. Not even our own mother can visit us. And yet there was something deep inside me that felt guilty. The feeling was subtle, yet hurt ever so slightly. Like a faint stabbing in my chest recurring in unbearably long intervals. Lost in my thoughts, I hadn't noticed Ravi approaching me. His upper body leaned forward, leaving only a few inches between us. He is so pretty. Look at this man. I struggled to avoid bumping my head against his. What is it? Even once I acknowledged his presence, he didn't move an inch. I had a clear view of his golden eyes, sparkling like amber in the sunlight. He is so pretty. Studying my entire face, he came even closer. It's strange. He muttered something in French under his breath, which I could barely follow. I don't speak French, help! Don't worry. This is why I use Google Translate and type it in. Oh, okay, so he said it's strange. I'll keep an eye on her for now. Why? Ravi? His whole body twitched for a moment, as though I had snapped him out of a trance. He stepped back, leaving me enough space to breathe again. Carefully, I sat upright and studied my friend. Are you keeping me in a controlled experimental environment, Ravi? Excuse me? Hello? In one hand, he balanced a plate with 2 toasted slices of bread, 2 fried eggs, and 2 slices of cheese, all perfectly arranged. This sounds really nice. I'm hungry. His gaze still lingered on me, only this time less intense. What's wrong?
Huh? Oh, nothing. I was just wondering about something.
Am I your guinea pig? Oh, I see. Without responding further to my question, he set the plate down in front of me and returned to the kitchen. Did I do something wrong?
No, not really.
Okay, I definitely did something wrong. I didn't like the tense atmosphere between us. Normally, Ravi would always speak up if something bothered him, sometimes even too directly, and yet, lately he had been much more reserved with me. Instead of answering my questions, he avoided them, especially when it came to us. Maybe I'd become a burden to him, and he just can't admit it because of our friendship. I turned my attention to the food before me. Although it was beautifully arranged, I still couldn't smell or taste it. The feeling of my mouth watering and desire to devour it, all of it was absent. This was one of the many symptoms of my condition. Perhaps this is why Ravi always went to such lengths to make the food look appealing. An involuntary sigh escaped my lips, soft like a gentle breeze yet filled with emotion. Ravi seemed to notice it as he paused while washing the pan. It was only for a brief second.
I thought I'd make you a cheese leek soup today.
I do like cheese and leek soup. Using my fork, I placed the cheese slice on the bread, followed by the warm, perfectly fried egg.
I didn't get a fresh baguette since it would be stale by lunchtime, but I bought you a pre-baked one.
I watched the cheese melt on the toast, spreading slowly across the surface, trickling down the edges.
But you do know how to turn on the oven.
Carefully, I took a bite, feeling the warm, thick yolk spread comfortingly in my mouth. Just like how something else of Ravi's would also spread comfortingly in my mouth. Anyways, how's university? From the corner of my eye, I watched him pour a mixture of water and vegetable broth into a large pot, then he turned to the leek.
Good.
And are you getting enough sleep? You had to commute between Hildesheim and Braunschweig, and your master is starting soon.
Are you worried about me?
Of course. He'll also bring me my meals. Although Ravi didn't face me, I still noticed a dimple appear on his face. Are you smiling? This is serious.
What? I never smiled a day in my life.
Yes, you are. You're smiling now and you look beautiful. The air between us became lighter, and I could feel the tension in my chest slowly ease. Tell me, what is your master's thesis about? Am I part of your master's thesis? Is your master's thesis me?
It's about electromechanical neuroprosthetics.
What? My childhood friend had always been fascinated by human biology and the rapid development of technology. While I always had a novel in hand, Ravi had his nose buried in scientific books ever since I met him. He stepped towards me to take the now empty plate and place it in the dishwasher. He moved with a certain elegance.
You know the classic prosthetics, like those for arms and legs, right?
Uh-huh.
The prosthetics I'm working with are meant to replicate bodily functions such as muscle and nerve signals as accurately as possible. Maybe one day it'll be possible to fully replace the brain and other organs mechanically.
Yep, this checks out. I am his experiment.
All diseases could be eradicated, memories could be restored, Humans could live forever.
The first thing I would do is replace my knees. And maybe my eyes, because my eyesight is bad. That's creepy. Why is he making that face? Leaning against the countertop, he turned to me, arms crossed. Our gazes met. As if I were an unfamiliar object, he studied me, observing my reaction, perhaps hoping that he could guess the stream of thoughts running through my mind. It wasn't the first time he had looked at me this way. When we were first getting to know one another, he had almost exclusively analyzed me like this. And just like back then, an unpleasant tingling spread through my chest.
Do you think so?
Don't you? I mean, it's pretty creepy to imagine humans living forever like that. Life is precious because it's short. You want to make the most out of what you've been given and do something meaningful. Like starting a family or making a name for yourself in society. That drive? That's what makes us human, isn't it? And again, he didn't answer my question. Instead, he returned his focus to the simmering soup, stirring it in calm, steady circles.
And have you thought about your bachelor's thesis yet?
I don't even have to write it for another year.
And? You still need to register it soon.
You sound like my mom. To be honest, I had an idea for a topic that's pretty similar to yours. I mean, not prosthetics, but human mortality and how people cope with it psychologically. He grasped the handles of the pot and transferred it to a cold burner.
Why are you thinking about death?
After drying his hands on his apron, he strolled back towards me and sat down on one of the empty chairs. Why not? Am I not allowed? His facial expression was, for some unknown reason, serious, almost stern, as if he had something against my choice of topic. Well, I don't have to write about that. I could choose something else. No, you choose what you want to choose. If you're passionate about it, you should choose that.
I'm not asking you to do that. I'm curious how you came up with that idea.
I don't know. It just popped into my head. And I don't even know if it'll be the final topic. I still have to find a professor who's knowledgeable on that subject and has time for me. The sharp beep of Ravi's watch pierced the increasingly tense atmosphere, making us both glance at his wrist.
Oh.
He quickly deactivated the alarm and stood up. He draped the apron over the back of the chair. He stepped towards me. Confused, I blinked up at him. But before I could react properly, he gently brushed some stray strands of hair behind my ear. His fingers were surprisingly cool and soft, like a freshly made bed you could lie in all day. However, the touch was brief. He gave me one last glance before walking past me to the door. Do you have to go already? I noticed that my words sounded more depressed than I had intended. My childhood friend stopped.
Do you want me to stay a bit longer?
But he remained turned away from me. No, it's fine. You still have to go to university. I don't want to keep you.
Text me if anything happens. I'll come as fast as I can.
From Braunschweig? Isn't that a bit inconvenient?
It is. But text me anyway.
I watched him slip back into his leather shoes and brush off his coat. With his usual inscrutable expression, he turned to me and raised a hand in a parting gesture.
Please put the soup in the fridge once it's cooled, or it'll go bad.
Yes, I will.
And study for university.
What are you, my mother?
Sometimes I feel like it.
Hey! For a moment, his hand rested on the silver door handle of the sturdy apartment door, as if he didn't want to leave. Though perhaps it was just my imagination projecting that desire onto him. Don't go. I don't want to be alone. See you later. I'll text you and give a thorough review of your cheese leek soup.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
With those words, the door closed behind him, and I was alone in this cold, empty apartment. Something sus. I feel like he's put us in here and like we're his experiment, and he's already replaced parts of us and we don't know. My body sank back into the soft cushions of the couch, the book in my hands dropping by my side. By now, the slowly setting sun had bathed the living area in a pleasant orange hue. Its rays lay over my skin like a cozy, comforting blanket. How quickly time passes when you're absorbed in a good book. It had taken several hours for me to finish digesting Ravi's soup. And before I knew it, I had already sprawled onto the couch and started reading a book. My gaze drifted towards the hardcover edition of The Dragon Princess lying beside me. Men can be so terrifying. Compared to Princess Amaya's fiancé, he really does seem easier to handle. The thought of being surrounded by men who only saw me as an object of desire, a trophy to display in front of others, made my body shiver for a moment. No, I mustn't allow myself to imagine such horrific scenarios. Shaking my head vehemently, I tried to chase the thoughts away. My eyes slowly roamed across the open living area. I should tidy up a bit. Let's see, let's look at the couch. My perfectly soft couch. I bought it from YBuy for a really good price. And in great condition too. I got it when I moved into this apartment, though I accidentally broke one of the back legs during transport. Luckily it's hidden well enough so no one can see it. My gaze wandered to the book lying on the couch, the one I had been reading just a short while ago. I should put it back. If I don't do it now, it'll probably stay there until Ravi comes back. And then he'll scold me as always for leaving such a mess. Again, coffee table. In front of the couch was a simple coffee table, consisting of an oval oak tabletop and dark metal legs. Or is it actually oak? It could be mahogany or cherry. That's a type of wood, isn't it? It's not like I'm a wood expert. A simple carpet. Bookshelf. In front of me was my simple open shelf, held together solely by metallic support rails. A plastic plant sits on the top shelf. The middle holds a wine rack with a single bottle. A few books are stacked on top of each other at the bottom. Ah, right, the book. I should put it back. Let's put the book back. Above the couch hung a wide picture frame, displaying a painting of a sunset. Kara painted this in acrylics on my 21st birthday. Ravi was kind enough to hang it on the wall for me back then. Otherwise, it would never be this straight. Not to the next room. I like how there's a little map progression up here as well. I'll move myself down a little so we can see it. But yeah, like these represent like all the different rooms, which I think is a really, really nice way of just like navigating throughout the space as well. Fridge. I opened the fridge. For a few seconds, the pleasant chill silently spread across my skin like a thin water film. None of the food or drinks inside really appealed to me. Neither did the leftover cheese leek soup nor the yogurt or vegetables. So I closed the fridge again and bid farewell to its relaxing cold. Cabinets? Inside the overhead cabinets above the stove were all kinds of spices arranged alphabetically, as well as bowls in every color, size, and shape imaginable. The overhead cabinets above the kitchen sink are filled with glasses and cups along with different types of plates. Dinner plates, soup plates, dessert plates, and salad plates. Why do I have so many plates? At the end of the day, I just keep using the same one anyway. In the top drawer was mostly cutlery like spoons, forks, and knives, followed by cooking tools and smaller pots. It's pretty dusty in here. I'm honestly surprised Ravi hasn't complained about it by now, knowing what a clean freak he is and all. Table. A simple dining table. There was a wide mirrored wall to my right. It made the living area seem bigger than it actually was. And yet a strange unpleasant shiver often crept over me whenever I looked into it, unlike when I looked into the bathroom mirror. Can I also just compliment how, like, nicely aesthetic the backgrounds are? Like, all the color tones and everything are very within the same range, and it makes it very, very nice to look at, as though someone was blinking back at me. Someone who wasn't me. Flowers. In the center of the dining table stood a flower vase draped with beautiful fresh flowers. These are probably the only real plants in my apartment. Every 2 or 3 days, Ravi brought me a fresh bouquet and replaced the old ones. That's sweet of him. If he didn't also lock us in this apartment, what's in here? Ah, my bedroom. A stylish spherical lamp was placed on my top left nightstand. I use it to secretly read books at night, though Ravi often told me to stop. He kept saying it will ruin my eyesight. I still do it anyway. Ooh, there's different cupboards that I can look at. Above the bed loomed a massive overhead bed unit, with several cabinets lined up next to each other. Ravi had installed it back when I first moved in, once again proving that he was stronger than he looked. Did he also augment himself? The cabinet held tidy stacks of tops and pants that Ravi had neatly folded. For some inexplicable reason, most of the clothes were in soft light colors, though I preferred dark tones. Inside the cabinet were 3 wooden partitions, each separated by type: underwear, bras, and socks. I'm not opening this cabinet. Wait, why not? What's in it? It's for my own safety. Why? A totally harmless cabinet. What's in there? A totally harmless cabinet? No? There's something in there. I can't get anything else out of it, but that's interesting. Because all the other ones are like similar. A wall cabinet filled with my underwear. Yeah. And this one was a wall cabinet filled with tops and pants. Yeah, there's nothing more but this one. In the cabinet on the right side of the overbed unit, I stored most of my book collection. From high fantasy to contemporary romance, I had it all. And ever since being bound to this apartment, my collection had nearly doubled. On my right nightstand were 2 books stacked on top of each other, the ones I still needed to finish. At the head of the bed was a tower of pillows neatly lined up side by side. If they weren't, I could bet my entire book collection that Ravi would give me a lecture. Though in the end he'd arranged them himself. Looking outside, we don't have a response. A carpet. A very nice carpet. My bed was in the center of the room. It practically invited me to lie down, close my eyes, and drift to sleep. Should I lay down and take a nap? No, let's keep exploring. We've got one more room that we haven't gone to yet, which is this one. The bathroom. Shower. My shower. I don't need to take one right now. I opened the cabinet beneath the sink and was greeted by a variety of items. On the left were rows of identical shampoo bottles, followed by packaged toothbrushes, medicine, and hairpins and clips. Just a mirror. That's a toilet. Nothing more to say about it. Alright, back out we go. Can we head over to this space? That's the entrance. I don't need to go there. Wait, why not? Oh, fine, I guess we'll go take a nap. My bed was in the center of the room. It practically invited me to lie down, close my eyes, and drift to sleep. Should I lay down and take a nap? Yes. The world was submerged in the suffocating summer heat till the late afternoon, making it harder for the young students to move towards with every step. The cobblestone streets were bathed in a warm glow. and the old wooden windows of colorful timbered houses that stretched before them shimmered like the surface of a vast ocean.
Oh man, why does it have to be this hot?
The heat isn't even the worst part. The temperature swings hit you like a truck.
True, that too.
Right now, I'd kill for a bubble tea. Me too.
Please don't, that would be illegal.
With extra ice, yes.
Oh man.
Luna's gaze shifted from her two friends who were lost in their whining over to her childhood friend. As he noticed her attention on him, he glanced out at her with a slight grin.
What's up?
Nothing. Instantly, a pulsating warmth spread through her body. Unlike the late summer sun, this warmth breathed new life into the young woman, filling her with the kind of euphoria that made her look at the ground in an embarrassed expression. Just like how Ravi will also fill me with some other kind of euphoria later. But she couldn't avoid him. He quickly leaned forward, blocking her view with a smile. Surprised by his sudden movement, she had to restrain herself from lunging forward and practically throwing herself into his arms. Oh, I want to throw myself into his arms. He startled me.
So, what's the matter?
I'm stuck in an apartment and I think you locked me in here? He wouldn't let this go. Luna knew her childhood friend well. He couldn't help but pry. He was far too curious for his own good. Still, that was part of his charm, wasn't it? His insatiable inquisitiveness always managed to bring a smile to her face. Hey guys, what about bubble tea? Luna could hear Kara calling for them behind her friend. She and Henning probably hadn't noticed that the childhood friends had stopped, as they were already several steps ahead. Why'd the music stop? But their words blurred into a piercing sound that stabbed painfully through Luna's ears, deeper and deeper until they became the only sound she could perceive. Oh no! Oh boy. Reality is falling apart! As if struck by lightning, my eyelids tore wide open. I could feel a bead of sweat slowly and uncomfortably roll down my temple. It took only a few moments for my consciousness to place where I was. I was lying in my bed. My objective is to calm down. Only the faint moonlight filtering through the two windows helped my eyes navigate the nightly darkness. Fighting against my uneven breath, I pushed the blanket off my legs and leaned back against the cold wall. I haven't had a dream like that in a long time. Breathing deeply in and out, I closed my eyes and tried to focus solely on my breath. In, out, in, out, in. But instead of loosening, my chest tensed a little more with every breath. It almost felt like the walls around me were slowly closing in, as if someone was right there, watching me. I wouldn't put it past Ravi to have installed cameras in this place. No, stop going crazy, Luna. The shrill notification tone on my phone pierced through the silence, like the light at the end of a dark, endless tunnel. It illuminated the room with its blinding glow. Swallowing the growing lump in my throat, I gripped the smartphone with trembling hands. As soon as it recognized my face, it unlocked and revealed the unread messages awaiting me. Well, that was us. We're still to Henning first. Pia should have been back from her friend's place 2 minutes ago, but she's still not home. Maybe she's on her way already. After all, she's only at her friend's a few streets away. Or what if something happened to her? What if she got hit by a car? What if some creep took her? What if a creep hit her with a car and took her? Okay, false alarm, she just got home. Sorry. Ugh. Sorry for only reading your messages now. I was already asleep. Don't sweat, I might have overreacted a bit, don't you think? No, not really. You're worried about your sister, that's totally normal. And kinda cute too. Really? Yeah, of course. Kara doesn't find it cute. Why'd you even bring Kara up now? Just saying. I doubt that what Kara thinks about me even remotely resembles cute. Really? Yeah. Why are you awake anyway? I had a nightmare. A nightmare? That's rare. I know. Do you remember before I got sick, when we went for bubble tea with Kara and Ravi? Somehow I dreamed about that. Ravi, don't... Wait, hang on. What was that? What the hell was that? I want to see what it says. Let's see. It says, Ravi, don't you bet Hide. That's so weird. Okay, new hypothesis. I think Ravi is keeping us in this place. He's taken us, and he's planted false memories in our head. And we are, in a way, some sort of experiment for him in relation to his master's thesis. Like, he's actually replaced parts of us and put himself at the center of our universe. This message was deleted. Why? You just wrote something. Yes, why? Why'd you have a nightmare about that? I'm asking about this. No, I'm pretty sure you wrote something else before. Something about Ravi. No, why would I write about him? I barely know him. After all, he's your childhood friend, not mine. Continue to pressure. Yes, I'm sure there was something written there. What's wrong? What the hell is going on? What the fuck? Hello? Save her. That's so weird. It says that his messages had like one letter in them and they all spelled out save her. We'll talk to Hide last. Kara. Well, that was ass. I want to watch the recording of the German lecture when my parents were at that wedding. Oh, right. Yeah, coulda, woulda, shoulda. Lol. What happened? My mom happened. She just dragged me to the wedding. I don't know anyone here.
The music is way too loud. There are way too many people here.
And every 5 minutes, some rando hugs me and says, "Hey, you grew so much. I last saw you when you were just a baby."
So creepy.
Oh, yeah, that sounds overwhelming. But seriously, how is this hall not collapsing with this many people? There are easily over 800 people here. 800 is a lot. Okay, maybe I'm overreacting, but it feels like 800. I'd still rather be home. Why didn't your mum force you to go? What do you think? To marry me off as soon as possible, duh. Oh, maybe you'll meet someone you like. Someone who's just like you. Girl, that's not gonna happen because you want to stay single. It has nothing to do with that. I don't want to bring that topic back. I have like zero energy for that right now. I feel bad, but with pressure. I still want to know. Luna, just tell me. Oh no. Wait, this message was deleted. I'm such an idiot. This message was deleted. Kill me. What the hell was that? The first one. I already lost the right one a while ago, and I'm such an idiot, and then she says kill me. This is weird. This is creeping me out. In a really good way, might I add. Okay, Hide, let's talk.
Hello, how was your day? You sleeping? If you're sleeping, I wish you a good night.
Oh, sorry. I had already gone to bed.
That's okay, no worries. Why are you awake again?
I had a nightmare.
Oh no, why?
I don't really know. I dreamed that I was walking home from uni with my friends, Kara, Henning, and Ravi. We went for bubble tea that day. But then everything got really strange and there was this high-pitched ringing and Ravi also became weird.
Ravi's your friend?
Yeah, Ravi and I have known each other since we were kids. He's always been there for me. He still is. He comes over every day just to cook for me, even though he has to go to uni afterwards. Thanks to him, I'm not alone.
He sounds nice. But why are you alone without him?
I'm not allowed to leave my apartment.
What? Why? So you can't go to uni either?
Yes, I became very ill 2 months ago. Ravi's the only one who can visit me. And why?
Why?
Why what?
Why can't Kara or Henning visit you?
Because they can't. I'm sick. Otherwise they get sick too and I get worse.
What's wrong with you?
You're asking a lot of questions.
Sorry, I'm a curious person.
I can tell.
I just wonder why Ravi can visit you but Kara and Henning can't.
Because that's how it is. I can't explain it, I'm not a doctor. But Ravi studies medicine. He knows all about these things.
I see. You haven't left your apartment for 2 months?
No. Still haven't.
Not even for some fresh air or to walk the hallway?
No, I haven't even opened the door in 2 months.
But what if someone rings the doorbell or gets you mail?
It hasn't rung since and Ravi brings me the mail. He has a key to the apartment.
Can you open your apartment door?
Why?
Just because.
Okay, let's disagree first and then we'll come back and we'll agree. No, the whole situation's making me a little uneasy.
I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
It's okay, but I only met you today. And you're asking me too many personal questions. Please, stop.
Sorry.
You're creeping me out. Please stop messaging me. Good night. Demo end. Okay, well, we're gonna go back and agree. Agree. Alright then. Hoping my conversation partner would stop asking so many personal questions, I pushed my blanket aside and struggled out of my far too cozy bed. My whole body shivered as the night cold of the apartment wrapped itself around me. I wanted nothing more than to crawl back into bed, yet I had to prove something to the stranger. Well, let's head out. Well, we finally made it to the entrance. Alright, let's try opening the door. By now, my bare feet had gotten used to the cold laminate as I stopped in front of my apartment door. The entrance was only faintly lit by the weak light from the kitchen, but it was enough to guide me in the darkness. Fixing my gaze on the silver handle of the apartment door, I felt my chest tighten more with each breath. Come on, Luna, stop overreacting. What's so bad about opening this door? There won't be anybody outside who could harm you or be harmed by you. It's just a simple in and out. My hand began to tremble violently as I reached for the handle, as if every fiber of my being was resisting. A relieved sigh escaped my lungs as my fingers finally clutched the handle. Why is my body behaving so weirdly? I slowly closed my eyelids and focused on my breathing. It's okay. Just breathe in and out. I'll open this door on 3. 1, 2, 3. With all the strength I could muster, I pressed the handle down, jerked my arm back, and yet I was met with resistance. No matter how much I rattled the door, it didn't move an inch. I was trapped. And the door is locked.
What? Why? Can you open it? Do you have keys?
Technically yes, but I don't know where they are. I haven't needed them in 2 months.
Can you look for them? Or maybe find something else to open the door? But isn't that strange? Why is your door locked?
Let's agree this time, then we'll come back and disagree. Yeah, that is really weird. I'll look around.
I'm with you. You can do it.
Hide honestly seems so sweet. I opened the dishwasher. A simple used bread knife caught my eye. I'd rather not ask how long that's been in there, but it might come in handy. Well, I have a knife now. I opened the bottom drawer, which contained a collection of pots in various shapes and sizes. This should work. I mean, if I don't find anything better, maybe our bedroom has something. I want to try and attempt... I can't open that. Damn it. On the wall in front of me hung the painting Keira had made for me. I couldn't recollect how the idea came to mind. It was as though the night's lovely sky had whispered it to me, but I carefully lifted the frame and looked at the back of the canvas. It can't be. In the moonlight's soft embrace, a silver solid key gleamed at me, attached to the back with tape. My apartment key. How did... I definitely didn't put it there. Why is our key taped to the back of a painting? Did Keira sneak it in for us? That's just my fake plant. There won't be anything useful to open the door with. Alright, let's go searching for more stuff. Mirror. Just a mirror. I opened the cabinet and rummaged through one of the boxes until I finally found a hair clip. This might work. Well, maybe. I've only ever seen these in movies. Carpet? I stepped onto the carpet in front of my bed and could sense the hard interwoven strands slowly digging into my feet. That's weird. A slight bump etched into the sole of my right foot as though there was something flat underneath it. So I bent down towards the floor and lifted the carpet slightly. Oh, how funny! The perpetrator was a green plastic card, my library card. I've been looking for this thing for so long. That's interesting. My gaze drifted to the soft couch and suddenly I could feel the fatigue in my bones. My muscles began to relax, sending an uncomfortable tingling through my legs into my fingertips. What am I even doing here? Following instructions from some guy I've known for less than 24 hours. As if I had nothing better to do. With a weary sigh, I let myself fall back onto the couch, but a sudden pulsing pain shot through me, causing me to jump back onto my legs. Annoyed, I rubbed my backside, glancing down at the couch cushions in hopes of finding the cause of my pain. My eyes landed on a small paperclip, lost in the slit of the cushions. Of course. Okay, so now we have options. We have the actual key, we have a pot, the bread knife is on us, and we have a paperclip and a hairpin. I don't think there's anything else that's like super clickable. Oh, the paintings. No, it's not really giving us anything. I wanna like thoroughly check everything first. Okay, let's head back to the bathroom. We'll look around. Cabinet beneath the sink with a variety of items. Let's look at the mirror. Okay, that's a little bit weird. And now our reflection is gone. Yeah, that's not unsettling at all. That definitely makes me feel really, really comforted and good, like nothing is wrong, huh? Yeah, no, I think we've gotten everything. My couch. Yeah, it doesn't really seem to be anything else. Picture frame. Wait a minute. Oh, something in the plant? Upon closer inspection, I could notice something sticking out, only partially hidden by the dark soil of the plant. Despite the darkness around me, I tried to free the object from the dirt, and what emerged was a hammer. I refrained from asking how a hammer ended up in the pot. Are our friends just hiding objects for us to use to defend ourselves with? That'd be pretty cool if they were doing that. Alright, now we open the door. How am I supposed to open the door? Let's use the hammer. We'll use the key next time, but I want to try the hammer. Do I really want to do this? Isn't this kind of stupid? Will insurance even cover this? I took a deep breath and shut my eyes in hopes of calming my racing heart. Whatever. With forced determination, I steadied my sweaty grip and slowly lifted my arms. I'm so weak, nothing will happen anyway. Now or never. And with that thought echoing in my mind, I swung forward and the metallic clatter beneath me caused my eyes to open. To my surprise, a silver shimmer flashed back at me. The door handle, cleanly wrenched off the frame, lay at my feet. My gaze moved upward to the door in front, which creaked with a soft hum and slowly opened as if it were of its own volition. How did I did it! I did it! But before I could react, a hot throbbing pain spread across the back of my head, extending down to my shoulder blades. My vision grew blurry, and before I could... No! No, I want to find out more so bad. Alright, let's go back and get some of the other endings. Alright, this time we'll open the door again, but we will use the key. Cautiously, I inserted the key I'd found behind the painting into the lock. I could feel my heart beat violently in my chest, as if it was warning me, yelling at me not to do this, but... well, here goes nothing. I twisted the key with trembling fingers and hit a rhythmic resistance, followed by a faint metallic click. It was barely audible, almost enough to make me doubt my own hearing for a moment. Slowly I turned to the door handle and wrapped my fingers around it, until I feel the sweat on my palm dampening the cold steel, both slowly growing warm under my touch. I pulled at the door with more force than necessary, as it swung open with no real resistance, nearly slamming against the wall. But I was able to catch it just in time, pressing my foot into the gap to stop it. A short, shaky sigh slipped past my lips, the tension inside me easing with every heartbeat, only to make room for another feeling rising violently to the surface and consuming my entire body. Curiosity. I felt the blood rushing through my veins, my trembling fingers aching for more adrenaline, and my heart threatening to burst through my chest. My eyes locked with the darkness spilling out of the hallway like a thick fog. keeping me from seeing anything beyond its wall. I've come this far. I must be insane. Oh, damn it all, what's the worst that could possibly happen? I shook my head violently, hoping the thoughts would scatter on their own, leaving it empty for once. I pulled out my phone, its display lighting up, blinding me in return as though it wanted to burn the sight right out of my eyes. Although my squinted eyes were singing, I managed to slide my thumb to the flashlight toggle, and with the tap, the darkness before me was swallowed in the glaring cold light, revealing the corridor that led to the other apartments in my complex. But with the very first step I took outside the apartment, a suffocating heaviness washed over me, a feeling like quicksand slowly consuming me. This wasn't my home. He's definitely put us somewhere. He's put us in a controlled environment. Alright, let's go back here. This is when we had just arrived at the door, and last time we agreed that the door being locked was strange, and then we went to look around for stuff. This time we'll disagree and we'll see what happens. No, it's already late. Maybe it's just stuck. Ravi can fix it tomorrow. Are you sure? Yes. Good night. I turn away from my phone screen back towards my bedroom door. There's surely a logical explanation for this. I don't think there is. But I can deal with it tomorrow instead of so late at night. Ravi would never just lock me in. I think he would. Demo end. Alright, I'm gonna go explore around a little bit more. But I also did go back and try opening the door with the paperclip, hair clip, and both of them give the same ending as the key. But if you use the pot, it gives the same ending as the hammer. So those are like the only two variations when you try and open the door with the different items. But yeah, I'm gonna go back because honestly what happens to the narrative when you don't check Hide's message. Alright, we're back at the start. Before, I forgot to click on Ravi's message chain, but we can actually respond to Ravi here. Good morning. Good morning. Did you sleep well? Honest or dishonest? Oh, okay. This is new. This is different. Let's be honest this time. Not really. I had a weird dream. What do you mean? Do you remember our first meeting? When my family moved to the house next door and you almost fell from that big tree? Good thing you don't climb trees anymore. I used to be pretty good at it. Didn't seem like it back then. Hey! I just wonder why I dreamt about that today. That's so cute. Yeah, that is kind of strange. Well, dreams are generally a mystery. I should be at your place in about 10 minutes. I did some grocery shopping, so I'll prepare your breakfast and lunch before heading to uni. You don't have to do that. I can make my own food. That would be a waste of good ingredients. I'll be there soon anyway, and I enjoy cooking for you. Okay, see you. See you. Oh, the heart. Yandere, he's trapped you in here like a carrot. You're not even trapped in here like a prisoner, because you're not trying to escape. You were trapped like a carrot. Okay, and then around this time, Hide messages us, but this time we're not checking our phone. Don't check phone. Just because I'm stuck in my apartment with nothing to do all day, I still shouldn't waste my time sitting on my phone. I should get ready instead. And study for uni. The thought of the materials I still have to review for my online exam in a week sends a cold shiver down my spine. And to make matters worse, statistical data analysis was not exactly one of my favorite subjects. Lifting my head, my gaze wandered to the ceiling. But the jangle of a key turning in the lock caused my entire body to jolt. Alright, let's go talk to our friend. There you are! I told you I'd be here in a few minutes. His tone was familiar and matter of fact. To strangers, it might have seemed as though he was cold. Yet I knew deep down, in his innermost being, there was a warm, loving man. I wasn't even aware of how I could sense it. Perhaps it was because I had known him for so long, because of all the memories we made together. Hello, handsome, gorgeous man. Okay, we'll skip through this conversation because we've already seen it. Okay, so I skipped through the conversation with Ravi and the little point and click section because we already saw that in our initial playthrough. So we're just gonna go to bed now and see if that progresses anything. My bed was in the center of the room. It practically invited me to lie down, close my eyes and drift to sleep. Should I lay down and take a nap? Yeah. And we'll skip through the nightmare, because we've seen the nightmare. But now because we haven't spoken to Hide, I wonder if there's anything that prompts us around here. Because he's the one who makes us go and try and open the door, but we haven't met him in this playthrough. As if struck by lightning, my eyelids tore wide open. I could feel a bead of sweat slowly and uncomfortably roll down my temple. It took a few moments for my consciousness to place where I was. I was lying in my bed. Only the faint moonlight filtering through the two windows helped my eyes navigate the nightly darkness. Fighting against my uneven breath, I pushed the blanket off my legs and leaned back against the cold wall. I haven't had a dream like that in a long time. Breathing deeply in and out, I closed my eyes and tried to focus solely on my breath. But instead of loosening, my chest tensed a little more with each breath. It almost felt like the walls around me were slowly closing in, as if someone was right there watching me. The shrill notification of my phone pierced through the silence, like the light at the end of a tunnel. It illuminated the room with its blinding glow. Swallowing the growing lump in my throat, I gripped the smartphone with trembling hands. As soon as I recognized my face, it unlocked and revealed the unread messages awaiting me. Okay, so we don't have a message from Hide. So we've already seen the messages from Henning, but this time we won't pressure him. Oh, I don't know. Suddenly everything around me just felt really weird. And then there was this high-pitched sound.
Sounds exhausting. Drink a glass of water. That always helps me fall back asleep.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe I'm just overthinking things.
Speaking of sleep, I think I should head to bed too. I'm meeting Kara tomorrow.
Aw. Ooh, what are you guys doing?
Probably getting a coffee and taking a walk around.
Send me a photo, okay?
Sure, but good night. Try to get a few more hours of sleep.
Okay, good night. And Kara, she talks to us about the wedding conversation, but this time we won't pressure her either. Okay, I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's not your fault. I'm acting like a bitch right now.
Still, I'm here for you if you just want to talk or vent, okay?
I know, you're a gem, but why are you still awake? You usually sleep at this hour.
Yeah, usually. But I had a nightmare and woke up.
Can you try and sleep again, or is it really that bad?
I don't know yet.
I'd love to just disappear from here and come over to your place. Then we could have a girls' night.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Try closing your eyes again. Sometimes you just fall asleep after a while.
Yeah, I'll try.
Good night, sweetheart. We'll text tomorrow. If I survive this wedding.
Good night. Ravi?
So, did you like the soup?
Respond. Sorry for only seeing your message just now. I cleaned the apartment and then fell asleep.
No problem. But why are you already awake?
I could ask you the same. Or are you still awake?
The latter. I'm working on my master's thesis.
Don't stay up too long, or you'll get sick.
And that would be really bad, and I wouldn't be able to bring you any food anymore.
That's not what I meant.
I know.
Man, not funny.
But why are you still awake?
Do we talk about the nightmare or don't talk about it? Let's tell him this time, and then I'll go back here and then we don't tell him. I had a nightmare.
A nightmare about what?
Do you remember when we went for bubble tea with Kara and Henning?
Yes, of course.
Continue. Everything was fine, but in the end it got really weird. Everything was so distorted, there was a high-pitched sound.
That does sound unpleasant.
Yeah, and you became really strange too.
I became strange?
Yeah, your form morphed into a completely different person. Yeah, morphed into Hide.
Into who?
I don't know. Uh-oh.
You should go to sleep.
Yeah, I guess so. Good night. Why am I glitching? What is going on? For a brief moment, my bed sank lightly, like a boat carried by the waves, causing my consciousness to drift back. I'd finally fallen back asleep not long ago, yet now I was awake again, though the world around me was still wrapped in pitch-black darkness. Not even the faint moonlight which had earlier filtered through the windows was able to be seen. Ravi? Once more, the soft mattress beneath me sank and the springs started to compress. Suddenly, I could feel an oppressive weight pressing down on me. My ribs were pushed deeper into the padding. I could sense the contours of the coil springs, the ends seemingly trying to pierce through the mattress and my flesh into my lungs, depriving them of any remaining air. The air that seemed to grow thinner with each passing second. What does this say? I'm gonna look this up. It says, I suspected it. I could hear someone talking, but I couldn't understand them. She is not perfect yet. She is not herself. The voice felt like it was guiding me from afar, like a lighthouse on the shore. I wanted to reach her, but no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't move a single muscle. As though the bed and I were slowly merging into one. Maybe she will be in the next version. I knew it! I knew he had messed with our organs or something. He was talking about replacing brains. I'm very, very certain he's replaced us and is keeping us in a controlled environment. Reboot. Replace memory. Personality check. Central nervous system check. Play again. I knew it! You weeder! Okay, let's go back to this point. Let's not talk about the nightmare. I just woke up.
Oh, but you shouldn't stay up for too long.
I know. Are you coming over tomorrow?
Yes, of course. When have I ever failed to feed you? Why do you ask?
Just curious. I was wondering what you're planning to cook tomorrow.
What do you want to eat?
Lasagna.
That's easy to make.
You sound almost disappointed.
I'm not.
Sure?
Yes, I'm just surprised. You have all the options in the world and you pick lasagna. Besides, pizza is one of the most basic dishes.
Basic? But comforting.
That's almost like asking me to make spaghetti with pesto for you.
I feel bullied.
Good.
Say, it's not that important right now. I also don't want to keep you up for too long. And I should try and fall asleep again.
Okay. Will you tell me tomorrow?
I will. Good night, sweet dreams.
Good night. Sleep well.
That's just a regular ending. I have a suspicion. If we can tell Ravi about the nightmare, if we actually accept Hide's message at the start, can we tell him about Hide? So I'm gonna go through and quickly choose all the options, and then I'll meet you guys back at that point. We're back here. I'll just pick something else that we want to eat this time. This one sounds complex, I guess. I mean, salmon tagliatelle?
Sounds good, but how'd you come up with that?
Your mum used to make it from it. Your mum used to make it for us. Maybe I'm feeling a little nostalgic.
Then let's eat it together tomorrow.
You would do that. He must be happy that we're feeling nostalgic with his, planted memories. Don't you have uni?
I can work on my master's thesis from home tomorrow. Maybe I want to share that nostalgia with you.
Okay, then it's a deal. Should we cook together too?
No, leave it to me. We don't want you accidentally burning down the kitchen while cooking pasta.
Hey. Say.
Yes?
Here we go. Okay. Talk about Hide. Do you happen to know a Hideaki?
No.
That was quick.
Why are you asking me that?
Someone with that name texted me today.
Impossible?
Why? He says he knows you from uni. It's possible, but I don't know him.
Sounds like a stalker.
Do you think so?
Yes, you should block him and delete his number.
Are you sure? He seems pretty nice.
Most stalkers seem nice at first until they assault or kill their victims.
But he doesn't really seem to have any bad intentions.
Delete his number, stop interacting with him.
Why are you so controlling, huh? Tell me. Okay, is it because you've stolen Hide's place in my life?
Now go to bed. Good night.
Good night. Is this the bad ending again? Yep, I think this is the bad ending. Cause yeah, we've already read this part where he like comes and like kneels down on us. And then he erases our memory. Yeah, he reboots us. God damn it. This was so good. First of all, let's break my like little review down into a couple of bits. Let's go with the narrative first. And then we'll go into the aesthetics and the characters afterwards. Narratively, I think the lore here is very, very well set up. It's one of those like slow burn Yandere games again. Like the ones where you have to like figure out a lot of lore, go through a bit of backstory, and piece together things with the point and click to build like a picture that something unsettling is going on. And I think it does a very, very good job of doing that. I am personally a very big fan of slow burn yanderes. Like, don't get me wrong, I played my fair share of yanderes that go from 0 to 100 very quickly, and I do like them as well. But I am a very, very big fan of lore, a very big fan of like story and world building, as I mentioned in like a lot of the other videos that I've done. And I think this game does a phenomenal job at setting up a honestly quite insidious setting. It almost reminds me of a video game called Prey, which came out quite a number of years ago. But if you guys don't know Prey, it is a sci-fi horror game. At the beginning sequence, you're living in this like idyllic apartment, and then something goes wrong and you have to escape your apartment. And one of the ways to escape, if I remember correctly, is either through your door, or the easier option is to take your wrench and smash the windows. And the second you smash the windows, which is displaying like a gorgeous skyline of the world outside, you realize it's actually a projection. Once the glass shatters, you actually see that behind it is a warehouse, like a dingy scientific lab and a warehouse. When you walk past and look at the still intact shards of glass, it's the skyline. But if you walk and look into the cracks that you made, it is the warehouse. That gives me a really similar vibe to this, like you are somewhere in like a controlled environment. And I think that's so creepy because at this point in time, are we dead or are we still alive and he's modified us? Have we died and he has taken us and modified us? Or has he kidnapped us and modified us? Because his research talks about replacing body parts, even replacing the brain. And I genuinely feel like we are part of his experiment. He's got us in the controlled environment, which is the apartment, and he's observing us. But like the most interesting thing is, are our friends alive or are they dead? Like, are they also simulations that he has programmed onto our phone to keep us entertained? Or has he done the exact same thing to our friends and we're all trapped? Which is very, very weird. Because the thing with like Henning, when he glitches out, he says save her. With Keira, she says kill me if Ravi has done something to them, or if they are just the fake versions of Henning and Keira. Same with our mother as well. And the thing is, originally I thought maybe he made us from scratch and he's programmed these memories into us. But if that was true, why would he have to like try and override these inconsistencies like Hide and stuff to try and make us perfect? Because if we were truly a blank slate, he could have made us like how he wanted us to be. So I really think that we are someone who's existed, and we exist in a friend group with Hide, Keira, and Henning, and he's taken us and has tried to replace Hide's position in our life. And I think that is very, very frightening, and I'm very keen to see where this goes because I love slow burn insidious yanderes. Like the ones that just look so sweet on the surface. Underneath the surface, you know something is very wrong. Gorgeous world building, extremely intriguing plot. I can't wait to see where this goes. But let's move on to the art because the art is very, very pretty. The sprites, the little chibis, the UI, and the backgrounds, everything like comes together in a very gorgeous game. And if you've ever played any of this wonderful developer's games, you'll know that she puts a lot of attention in how her games are packaged. And they're always an absolute sight to behold. Like even like the movements and the zooms in the programming and stuff, everything is done so intentionally and so intelligently and with a lot of heart and conscious decision behind it. so you have such a good experience when you're playing her games. Another thing is like the UIs are always gorgeous. The developer for this game actually also did the UI for He's Just Away, which is a game that I made featuring an exact android replica of your dead husband that you create, who ends up becoming an obsessive yandere because he can't stand being a replacement to your dead husband. And yeah, so she also did the UI for that as well, and is part of the reason as to why that game is so incredibly gorgeous. And I think it really shines through in here because the phone UI is so pretty. The standard dialogue box is gorgeous, but even like just the window of Ravi on like the side here, when he's talking to us out of view, or on the intercom is so pretty, or even like during the investigation, just to give the point and click elements more space to really be seen. Your avatar shrinks down into the bottom left-hand corner, and I think that was a really nice decision. It's like the little things that just make playing a game such a nice experience, and I thought that was really good. The sprites were absolutely gorgeous. Like the art style is so pretty. The little chibis, like even this little glitchy like doll right here is so cute. Like everything in this game is just so gorgeous, and like I spoke about this a bit earlier about the background, like the tone at the start. It looks like all the colors were so intentionally chosen to complement the existing art. It's so, I don't know, everything is just so good. I had such a good time playing this. I hope you guys enjoy it as well, and I hope you guys will give it a chance and give this game a try because I love this. I can't wait for the next part to come out. I can't wait to find out more about Ravi and Luna and also what his intentions are, and I hope when that comes you guys will also be there for the next part as well. That's all for now. Thank you so much for playing through Prelude Lost Requiem with me. I hope you guys loved this as much as I did. If you did, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe so you miss out on the next video that I post. And also, if you would like to support the channel, my Patreon is in the description box below. Subscribing gives you access to exclusive playthroughs, uncut reactions to spicy scenes, and also any spicy art that I draw, which is greatly appreciated. But thank you so much again, and until next time, take care!